And what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Grow Family Network. If you check in the replay, check out the first. I'm gonna put in the first comment is gonna be tonight's guest. Is gonna be the link to tonight's guest, and she is Beautee in the Garden. I think I started watching her channel a few months ago, but she tells me she's only been on YouTube for a few months, so probably less than a year. I don't know if she made an anniversary yet, but it's a real cool channel that I found. Actually, I think I found her like doing like porch makeovers. I was trying to get into beautifying the garden and beautifying the yard for Bevs, and I ran across her channel. So I thought it was a really cool channel. You know, sometimes you just see channels and you're like, okay, this channel probably is going to be a big channel. Like this channel is probably going to be bigger than our channel. I think everybody just wants to be a part of good information, good content. So today, I'm going to get to the comments. Today, we're going to be welcoming in Beautee in the Garden. And I'm not going to wait too long to come in. So we're going to come in. She's going to introduce herself to us. And as the people come into the live stream, we're just going to do our usual hangout for like an hour, 6 to 7 o'clock, and try to talk a little bit. So for everybody that's coming in, please welcome Beautee in the Garden. So let me say hello, Miss Beautee.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for like
Hello, everyone. I'm
saying you
T.
would come. So this is our first time having any kind of guest at all on our live stream, and I think that it's fun for me. A little nervous, like I'm a little sweaty. I don't know if it's because they don't have the air conditioner on up in this house or what, but we're here. So introduce yourself to our audience and just let them know a little bit about yourself, and then we'll get into the live stream.
Hi, everyone. I'm T from Beautee in the Garden. I have a little YouTube channel on kitchen gardening, and that is pretty much what I have going on my side. And I feel blessed to be welcome on a beautiful platform with beautiful, beautiful families. So I'm T.
All right. So tell us like why did you start YouTubing? I know you probably was already gardening, but why did you start YouTubing as far as being like a YouTube gardener?
I started YouTube because a lot of my associates and family and friends on my Facebook would see that I would post a lot of a different type of recipes that I would cook, and I post pictures of my fresh vegetables, and they like, well, why don't you go ahead and do YouTube? And I'm like, I don't know. And so pretty much I was just like, okay, let's go ahead and try this. Let me try this since I had a little free time to do it. And I did it. And I think I got my first 80 followers my first day. And I was
Wow.
like, well, I can't give up now. I got 80 people looking forward to seeing me grow my food. So this is how I ended up staying on the platform, on not disappointing my followers. So I'm still here.
I think I talked to you about it last night when you said like 80 followers in the first video, right?
Yeah.
Or let me tell you, this is our story, how our story is so different. I have this joke in the house, and I tell my family as well. Our subscribers went with the amount of videos we had, which was real. It was real crazy because I had like 10 videos, 10 subscribers, 11 videos, 11 subscribers. I had 80 videos, 80 subscribers. This I didn't understand it. So, but at the time, I was so excited. Like everyone, I was like, man, I'm gonna have like 500 videos to get 500 subscribers. Like that was my thinking. Like, and we used to push out sometimes. I remember when I first got started, like sometimes I would do like if I was feeling good because I was like into it, like focused, and it would be like probably like sometimes 2 videos a day. And like every video was just another subscriber. But then somewhere I think we had our spring container garden was the first video, and that might have been like two
That
years
changed
ago.
everything.
Yeah, and it did change everything like a whole lot. Like when you were saying your video had like 20,000 views or something, one of your videos.
Yeah, it hit 24,000 views. I think my 6 months in,
Hmm.
it hit 24,000 views. But that was my front porch, and I was just like, my front porch. I'm a gardener. My front porch video out of all, you know how you have to put in all the tags and everything. Everything says garden, 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 or yard.
Hmm.
And the first thing it comes up was like decor. Like I came up with the decor category, and I'm like, that's
Hmm.
not what my channel was about, but that's where it took me. So I hit 24,000 views in 2 days.
Wow.
Mm,
That video
mm,
that we did good on, I think that video is still at like 1,000 something views, but it wasn't the views so much as the people that subscribed off of that video. So you have some videos where you get a lot of views, but not many people subscribe from that video, as opposed to
mhm.
like that video. We didn't get that many views. We probably got like within the first week, like 1,400 views, but we
Oh,
probably got like 1,000 subscribers just off of that one video.
see, mine was different. It was different for
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
I woke up one morning. I went from 200 and something subscribers to almost 600, 700 subscribers. So, um, yeah, off just that
Yeah.
one video. So that was a shocker for me because I was just like, what's going on? And it was just like you wake up and you're like, okay, I had like a whole column of comments, and I'm like, and I literally sat there and answered every single one. Literally, I'm like,
Wow.
oh my God, I got the answer. I want to make sure everyone knows that this is what I did, how I did it, when I did it, where I got it from. So it was
How
new for
what
me
was
because
it? Are
only
you
like,
are you the type? Did you like we see your daughter sometimes? How I don't want to say active, but how encouraging is your family? I know last night you told me that your sister was like your best friend, but how encouraging is
yeah.
like the whole of your family, or have you even shared with your family that you're a YouTuber?
Yes, because now like I think like my sister YouTubes now and my niece YouTubes. So if like a lot of people follow Beauty in the Garden Facebook group, and you
Hmm.
see my nieces, she's always showing her garden. So my mom
So
is
your
just
niece,
like,
your niece does YouTube, like gardening YouTube,
she doesn't do
or another kind
YouTube.
of.
Well, she does YouTube, but she does YouTube for penny shopping.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
But she on my Facebook group, she would like videotape herself in the garden, and of everything that she see me do, she would try to do in the garden, and so it's very inspiring to like be in that comfort zone of
Hmm.
it, letting everyone know like, hey, you can go ahead and do this too, because I'm more of a shy person, bashful person, and I kind of shut down. Like I even see myself fumbling with words because I'm like, oh my God, what to say? So when I started YouTube, it was just like, okay, well, I think I said that wrong, but I'm trying.
Hmm. Yeah.
So
So, how, do you
yeah.
think? Do you think you're more? When did you start? Like, when was your first month? Like when you got your start on YouTube?
Okay,
Like
so I
really, really.
started in December, but I went on vacation, and I really didn't start again until February. I was really sick in January and February actually, and I think the next video was like a Dollar Tree haul, and I was like raspy, and I was just letting you guys know that I hope you guys can hear me clear because I was so sick in February. But February was really when I started truly doing YouTube because
Okay.
December and January I was out of commission.
So when from February until now, we in another. Well, we in March now. When did you feel that you begin to get a little bit more comfortable in front of the camera? Because I know it's a lot of people like they do videos, but they're always behind the camera because they're still a little shy to get in front of that camera. So
Still
when did
shy.
you, well, when did you feel a little bit more comfortable? Like I gotta do it. I gotta be in front of the camera.
I think when I did my little giggle situation when I have my plants because before I had the greenhouse, I had a greenhouse maybe 3 years ago. And I always said I'm gonna get around and I'm gonna build it and I'm gonna fix it back. And so I will have my plants right here by the like the sliding doors. That's where I'll have them. And when I did the video and I was like showing you guys the seedlings on the kitchen floor, and I was like, my husband, he's gonna be like, look here, woman, got all this stuff in the house now. So I thought that was a side of me that you guys probably didn't see because I was a giggle box. Like that was me being a little giggle box. So like
Yeah.
that was my face in that video because yeah, I was just like, hey.
That's I think that's a good segue into the next question I wanted to ask for not for me, and I'm gonna be a little bit. I don't seem to because women tend to jump on me a little bit on my channel, especially on
Uh-oh.
Bev's channel. But this is the way I'm gonna say it because it's no other way to say it. I was out today trying to figure out how to form this question, and in my understanding, for a guy like me being a gardener,
Mhm.
I don't have to ask permission, right? So I go out in my yard, I put whatever I want to put in my yard. I never have to go to Bev's and say, babe, can I do this or can I do that? But I know that is different in a lot of cases for a lot of women because I was telling you last night that I get a lot of emails, not a lot, but I done probably got like 20, 25, 30 emails from women asking me, how do I get my husband on board? How do I get my spouse on board? Because me, I could just call some of my friends and I can move raised beds around and all of that. But a lot of times for a woman, you're gonna need some kind of help. Um, in general, you just can't get a man off the street to just come and just help you because you got a husband or a man right there. So
Right.
how do you for somebody that's asked me that question, how do you get your spouse on board? Could you kind of answer that for us? Like, or have you got your spouse on board, or at least find that balance we talked about last night? Finding that balance where he still has his, and he kind of allows you, if I can say that word. But like men usually take care of the yard and stuff, even though I know it's not the same anymore. But how do you get that balance between a husband and a wife and gardeners loving to take over yards?
For me, if you watch my channel, I don't touch the
Hey,
yard. I don't touch the yard at all.
uh,
Um, so if y'all guys see the sand pit in the middle, actually the sand pit was when we actually before we put the fence up. So we actually put the sand pit in before I even did my garden on this property.
that
I
where
would
the,
say
the
probably
toys
4 or 5 months in. Huh?
is that where the toys, like the play stuff is? You say the sand pit?
So the sand pit is where the fire pit is in the hammock
Oh,
area.
okay.
So that's our like little comfort area in the middle of the property, and that was in first. So he went on deployment and came back, and I had 17 roses planted,
Wow.
but I didn't plant in the yard. My husband loves grass, so uh, I didn't touch his grass. So when I decided to plant the garden, I planted it up against the fence line where that grass is not important. So I planted it up against the fence line, And it worked out perfectly for me because how the sun comes in and how the sun set, it gives me opportunity to still have that 6 to 8 hour window of full sun. So my plants still would thrive up against the fence line. Because when you live in a subdivision, most people don't have trees to break the
Block
sun.
the sun. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so um, I end up being able to just utilize my whole fence line. So if you look at my property, the roses is up the fence line. The back part of the fence is my Italian cypresses and some roses. And then on the other side of the fence line is my crepe myrtles and my grapevine. So it was nothing is nothing in the middle of the yard but his grass. So I don't mess with his grass because it's his grass. That's what he loves. He likes to put lines in the grass, so I don't touch it.
Oh, okay.
I don't mess with it.
That professional stuff then, huh?
He really likes grass. He likes fluffy grass.
Oh, cool. So
So yeah, that's my compromise.
have you encroached? You say you don't touch it at all. And I know yesterday you was telling me about like a new gardening area. So are all your gardening areas you're keeping them close as you can to the fence line?
Yeah, they're all
You
close to the
bringing
fence line.
anything out like into the yard space?
Nope.
Oh.
Nope.
Mm.
Because if
So,
you look at the sand pit, when we did the sand pit, the flower bed is wrapped around the sand pit, and that was already there. So he already agreed to that one. Okay, that's before the garden. So I plant within that. So like if you notice, I plant in pots in my sand pit. That gives me more space where I'm still not touching the lawn. And I made it look nice. So when I put things in the pot, like I put my I put
okay.
the hold on. So I
Yes.
put
Hey,
hello.
beautiful. That's little beauty. Hey, little beauty in the garden.
Say beauty in the garden. Beauty in the garden. I'm gonna
So,
hold on, guys. I'm gonna fix something real fast.
all right. So tonight, guys, we have if you have any questions for Miss T, please put it in the comment section in all caps, and that way she can answer those questions. Because if you can tell, I talk a lot, but I'm trying my best to let her do most of the talking. Because who knows if I'll ever get her back on the channel again. Some more things that I want to talk to when she comes back on is we want to talk to her about her name. I know a lot of people, I think this is one of the biggest things on YouTube is, especially if you want to be a YouTuber, is a catchy name, like getting some kind of name that's not too crazy long, maybe not your name, but you try to get it to be somewhat a little catchy. So we do want to talk to her about that. But as you can see, she's as far as being a small space gardener, or for women that has a husband that loves his yard, that there is a way to find some compromise. And it seems like what she's done is she's found a compromise around the fence line of the property. Yeah, her name is so hard to pick. If y'all remember our channel, we first started, it was Louisiana Gardening Family. And I probably used that name for about, I don't know, maybe it was a year and a half, or maybe at the beginning of 2020, we changed the name. I can't remember. But the only reason I changed the name, at first, I didn't see any Louisiana gardeners on YouTube. So I was like, okay, let me stand in the gap for Louisiana gardeners. And then what happened was I kind of felt like I was kind of boxing the channel up, because a lot of times somebody will come to your channel and they'll be like, oh, well, I'm not in Louisiana. Why do I need to look at a Louisiana gardener when I'm in New York? So mentally, I was like, okay, God, help me come up with a name that's a little bit more universal or a little bit more worldwide. And that's when we changed to Grow Family Network. He gave me that name. So we went to that. Let me see if I got some questions. So we do have a question for Miss T when she comes back in.
I'm back. I'm back.
All right. So Miss T, Miss Joanne, I'm gonna put it up here. Miss Joanne wants to know, do you grow any fruit?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, my thing?
Right now, I have
That's it.
two blueberry. I have two plum, two peach, and
Cool.
now I have two apple. I have strawberries. I have grapes. And right now I have three lemon trees
Hmm.
on
You
the
say two
property.
lemon trees?
Three.
We trying
Yes,
to
I
do
grew
it
those from
live.
seed. That's my mom.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mom. I'm sorry. Tell
I'm
her I'm
gonna tell
sorry.
her. Like,
If
I'm gonna tell
blessing
her.
it,
Oh,
blessing it. Don't tell them that I said that.
I'm
Yeah.
telling.
All right. So, Miss Beauty, she says thanks, Miss Beauty. Tell us about
Welcome.
Deep South Homestead asked a question. They asked, do you
Mhm.
can or prep?
Yes, I like to do a lot of submerging, and I do a lot of dehydrating. I know like canning can take up a lot of space, so dehydrating is like I feel like will last a lot longer. And plus, I just like you can vacuum seal it and you can just put it away so easily. You can just store it away so easily. So, and submerging in oil or water, um, I do those things, which is what people call fermenting. So, but I do jar once in a while, like my tomatoes, I'll make like salsa or something like that, or
No.
I make my own pepper spray,
Just for your plants
like
or
throw
to
habaneros for and stuff, you know.
oh, okay.
But
I
yeah,
was
I
about to
do.
say because I was about to say, wait, submerging. What is that? Like, that's my first time ever hearing
When you
somebody say
submerge,
submerging.
yeah, it's fermenting, but it's kind of like
Mhm,
it's just fermenting. Basically, if you submerge food underwater,
mhm.
it won't be able to grow bacteria. Especially if you're supposed to use distilled water and submerging when you keep it
I know
underwater.
I did an eggplant a few years back. We had eggplants, and I saw this old lady on YouTube. She like cut up the eggplants. Well, no,
Mm-hmm.
she washed the eggplants. She wrung them out. So I did everything she did. She wrung them out. Then she put them in a jar and poured like olive oil on top of them. So I went and bought
Yes,
this
olive
$2
oil.
thing
That's
of
another
olive
thing you
oil.
can do. Yes, olive oil. Especially like you can roast your tomatoes or your peppers in the oven or sun dry them if you want to, and then you will submerge them under oil. Especially, you will definitely use olive oil. Will be your best bet to, because olive oil doesn't coagulate like
Hmm.
other oils. Get sticky. Olive oil. I use olive oil.
Okay,
And I like to
cool.
buy that from Sam's. Okay, just to let you know, because it's you get the big one.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
And
I do
hello,
have.
Deep South
Matter of fact,
Homestead.
this the last one we just bought from Sam's. This thing. I don't
Yes,
know. It looks like they are bigger at the store to me, but I don't know. Olive oil is kind of high.
it is,
But
but on the benefits of it is
yeah,
like
yeah.
amazing. So
Somebody asked, will you be doing any videos on those things? Or do you have any videos doing the submersion or the
no, not
dehydrate?
yet. I think when I first started the channel, you guys, I just pretty much was like just trying to get a feel of putting myself out there. Um, as time goes on, I'm getting a little bit more comfortable with showing you guys what I do. Um, it's becoming a little easier. Like right now, when I do like the cooking videos, um, that brings me into a comfort zone of like, okay, I know how to cook. And then when it comes down to like jarring and things like that, I have to get more comfortable. So you guys would actually
Oh,
see
tell. I should
what
tell.
I do and versus me just like running through it and doing it. So I want to make sure that I show you guys the levels to get there and not just doing it. That's
Oh,
why I do it.
cool. Can you see when I put these questions up on the screen? Can you see them?
Mm, yes. hold on, I can make it a little bit bigger.
Okay, so
Yeah.
someone asked, any blueberry tips that you have for increased production? Any tips that are you just starting to what?
Um, for me, for my production is just understanding the blueberry plant. And a lot of times it's the simplest thing as just adding Epsom salt and water. A lot of times that's most of the time is the problem with blueberries is not the level of the soil has to stay that almost alkaline soil. So a lot of people don't realize most blueberry farms they have sandy soil, like literally sand soil. So
Hmm.
adding that Epsom salt, that magnesium back into the soil, that helps.
Uh, cool. I know I use a lot of like things like the coffee grounds or any kind of like
Mhm.
organic like azaleas fertilizer. When I first
Mhm.
started, it was telling me to use sulfur, and I didn't really have that much success. Like I had two blueberry plants that died, and I was using sulfur like crazy,
Oh,
trying to, yeah. And one thing I found was never ever buy those small $5 blueberry plants because they go through so
why?
much. Because everyone that I buy for, so just say it's $5 and
Mhm.
it's so small, like this small, and you put in the
Mhm.
ground, and you gotta nurse them half the time, like they die back really low to the ground. But what I found is that the bigger ones, like the $14 pots, even though once you buy three of those $5 ones and they die on you, you might as well have bought the nice size one that was $14 to me. And if you
So
see it like other ones on my property, the bigger ones have for us, at least here in Louisiana, done the best. The small ones, never so much.
I'm gonna make you laugh. You're gonna be like, really? But the two blueberry plants that I have, the one I grew from seed, literally from seed.
Oh,
I literally took it, smashed the blueberry, put it on a paper towel, put it in a bowl, wrapped it in plastic wrap, and one of them actually sprouted. I put that in that pot, and then the one next to it was a $2 plant that was the roots were damaged, but if I show you guys it now, and it's pretty much bubbed up. But I just when I went to it, I just straight up and went and put it in a bigger pot
uh,
where I can control its environment.
yeah. And I
Yes,
think blueberries do really well, so well in containers that people really don't have to put
in the
them in
ground.
the ground. I
I think
like
it's
mine
better.
in the ground.
I think it's better to just put it in a pot, especially when it comes down to alkaline type plants, because um most of the time our soil is not alkaline. Most of the time is neutral. Most people's soil is neutral, so to make it alkaline, a little acidic rather, I think it's just better to control it in a pot, and then you can tell from the leaves what's the problem, or even down to like the stem. If it starts to get spots, then you might have some type of pest that's eating at um the trunk of the plant. So like you can like tell the controlled environment when you put it in a pot. So
Uh,
especially when it comes down to, you know, trees that need that extra magnesium.
sounds good. Kent Johnson asks, "What is your favorite recipe for things you grow from your garden?"
What would be my favorite?
Come
Oh,
on, come on, come on. What's your favorite vegetable in your garden? That you sometimes we have vegetables
pepper.
that we don't have to grow every year, but then
I would
there's
say
some
peppers.
things, peppers.
Peppers.
Uh,
You can do so many things with peppers.
so, what's your favorite thing to do with peppers?
I like the stuffed peppers, grilled peppers. Those are like the two biggest things. Like,
Oh, okay.
if you ever like smoked a pepper and put it in pasta salad, it is it's amazing. If you stuff it with, I like to say my bacon grease, so you guys okay. So I
Okay.
rub it down with bacon grease, you guys, and that alone just then you stuff it with rice and ground beef, or if you're into the turkey, do that, and then top it with mozzarella cheese, cheddar cheese. It's amazing.
Mm.
It's
Someone
amazing.
says, Flower Girl says roasted tomatoes with roasted peppers and some garlic, cover with olive oil and refrigerate. Mm.
Mm, that's good.
Sounds good. That sounds good. Hey, I
It
think
is good.
what did I
It
eat
is
today
good.
now since y'all
And and if you're not into roasting too, there is some stuff you can probably buy like liquid smoke from the store, or you can buy smoked paprika that will help out with that if you're not into grilling. You can
Okay.
still get that same kind of vibe.
Deep
So
South
yeah.
Homestead says our blueberries are growing in very sandy soil. We don't really have a problem down here
Here
in
in
Louisiana.
here in North Carolina, we have blueberry farms here, and they're in completely sandy soil. Like the whole way out, it's just like white. The sand is white. The dirt, I won't even call it. It's sand. It's literally
Oh,
sand.
okay.
It's literally sand. Even when it
And that's
rains,
what
you might see like a
somebody just
little bit of soil throughout, but it's literally sand. They really like sand soil. If you really want good production of blueberries.
said. Wow. You
So
answered the question before I even I just had put it up and you was answering somebody's question. They was asking, have you seen the huge blueberry farms near us? So obviously that's somebody
yes, and I
that
met her.
knows
I
the
said, hello. Hello in
channel.
the garden again. I actually met her in person, okay, you guys. So she actually met me in person. So
And this is one of my close gardening friends, gardener Trinity. So what's up with
hello.
you? Beauty in the garden is with us today, bro. That's
Hello, Garden
really
Trinity.
cool. Yeah, he has that's one of my inspirations here. He doesn't live far from me, and I
Mhm.
actually met him through doing this, and we actually went over. Me and Bells went over to his house. Like he welcomed us to his
I wonder
house.
if I watched that. I think I watched that.
No, I didn't do it. No, I went. That was a Guillory. I never did one at his house yet, but we're gonna do it this year.
Oh,
We were
okay, so
supposed
you
to
know
do it
what?
last year, but we had the pandemic thing, so
Okay,
everybody was kind of not moving around much. But I promise that we'll do it this
you
year.
gotta
So
do it. You gotta do it.
you would believe the stuff I tell people. Bells was clowning me. Like here we got 3 acres, right? So you would think oh, I'm doing this, and then I went to his house and I was seeing the amount of stuff he had growing and the amount of trees, and I was oh man. So that very day when I got back home, I planted another tree. I was I
Like,
can't
oh
let
no, I gotta get more trees. Be like, you should call
oh
him over and be
man.
like, look, this is what you did. You did it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Man, I had to. I had to. All right, so we don't really have any more questions right now. Tell us because I kind of got into my name. Tell us why you named your channel Beauty in the Garden.
well, Beauty in the Garden, you guys started off from. I have a hair care line called Beautee, and so I was just like, how can I come up with a name that works in still favor of my hair care line where I brand myself. So it was Beautee, and so when I came on YouTube, we got Beauty in the Garden. So that's how I end up coming about my name because I have a natural hair, organic hair care line. So it just kind of just played off each other. So
It can't
that's
be
how that
that
came
easy.
up.
Tell me, because I know we did the same thing. Tell me how many
Mhm.
days it took you writing that name down, different ways or other names. Did you have any other names, or did this name just bam,
That
Beauty
was
in the Garden?
that was it. Even down to
Wow.
my hair care line. Even down to my hair care line. What happened was I used to coupon and I used to go with a friend of mine, and she was like, "Hey, can I just call you T?" And so when I had got a management job, and it was like, "What nickname do you want to use?" I said, "T. You can call me T." And I ended up being Mama T. And then I was just like, "Okay, cool." And so one day I'm sitting down and I'm making my hair care product because I cut all my hair off, you guys, bald,
Uh,
scalp,
wow.
potato, bald.
Like with the
And
Clippers ball.
Oh yeah, all the way
Wow.
down, bowl, like
What was that
bowl.
about?
I just got tired of the relaxed hair and so I think maybe 3 months into it, I'm just like doing research, back to back doing research. Like I just felt like as a cosmetologist, I was just like, okay, the products would keep going out of my hair, like it kept being dry, and I'm just like, why am I buying this? Because I'm paying for water. Um,
Mm.
so as a cosmetologist, you get to learn the chemistry of stuff. So uh, most products are almost 70% water. That's the number one ingredient is water. So I decided to make my own product, and it worked for me. And I realized, like, I'm gonna bottle this, and that's pretty much end up being, how can I make this beautiful? So it's like, I'm tea. Beautee. Beautee. Yes, there we go. Beautee.
Okay.
Oh.
So do you have we know you have your YouTube channel. Tell us about your other social media accounts. Like, do you have Instagram, Patreon, PayPal, like all of that stuff, Cash App? Like, do you have?
Yeah, I have all that besides Patreon. I don't have that, but I have a Facebook page, Facebook group, and an Instagram, a Twitter, PayPal, and Cash App. Yes, I do
Is it
have
all on
that.
the same name? Is it all the same name?
The Beauty in the Garden is all on Facebook. Just like Beautee is all on Facebook. It's all separate. But I have them all. Like, if you follow me under the description, I link everything about what I have underneath every description on every video I do. But I don't know about Patreon.
Yeah, Patreon is one of those that a lot of people. It's like one of those things. Like it's something a little extra. Even us, like we haven't did any Patreon. It's like I want to do it, but I'm like it's another responsibility because those things are like paid subscriptions. So it's like if one person pay, take the subscription or 100, you still gotta put that content that you say you're gonna put out there.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
To think about. So we have 135 people in the chat right now.
Oh,
and
hello, everybody. I can't really see everything. I only can see what's up on like the headline.
So what I'm gonna ask is that everybody take time. I put her. Let me put it down here. I put her.
Hey, Miss Beauty.
I put her link.
You all cut off. So I'm like, I only see like little piece of you. So I'm like, oh, there she
off to the side. I put her link to her channel. So I'm asking that everybody would please go over and subscribe to her channel and show some support at Beauty in the Garden. Just taking time to do that because that little support, that little encouragement is what keeps us YouTube gardeners walking out that door and pressing record every day.
You want to encourage. I mean, the gardening is just one of those things. Like you just want to encourage someone to live a better life and enjoy the simplest things. Like instead of just thinking about all the things that we have to deal with on a daily basis, when you clock in at work and putting on that uniform, sometimes you need something that takes you away from that element of control. And when you're out in your garden or even on your patio, or even if you are into houseplants, it's just something that seeing something flourish and grow and healthy, and it just puts a smile on your face of you're nurturing something. So that's what I get out of gardening. So
okay, cool.
I appreciate any support.
Thoughts by Donnie asks, any tips you would give them when moving from zone 6A to 9B?
Happy time.
Be happy. What I was gonna say.
You in happy time. Because I mean, I'm not literally from the South. My mom's from the South, but I was raised up north, so like half and half up north and part down south. So up north it's always cold. So my grandma would like do like cabbage, collards, things in the cold season, you know, and not be able to enjoy all the things that you get to enjoy further down south. So any tips I would say is grow everything you can possibly grow, especially at zone 9. Between like 8 and 9, it's not as hot. It's like that, you know.
Depends on too where I would give her. Let me give her some advice. Oh, zone 9.
I think 9B and 10A and 10B. Oh, it's like it's hot. It's
And it's get
steaming.
ready for the
It's
mosquitoes.
terrible.
Yeah.
So any kind of mosquito netting, mosquito hats, long clothes. You're gonna be wearing long sleeve clothes in the middle of the summer because it's either that or get ate alive.
Or rub
It alive.
the best.
Yeah.
Fresh, like
That's
Yeah,
so
so
true.
get your oregano herbs, lemon balm, rosemary, those kind of things,
Rosemary, mint,
because you're gonna be rubbing that all over your skin.
strong. Some things that have a strong scent overpower the whole yard. You know, a basil is so strong, it's ridiculous. Basil will overseed itself like a weed, and you can like literally it drop on the ground. You cut your lawn, the whole lawn would smell like basil.
Wow.
Like it's that self-seeding.
lemon.
Yep. So that's gonna be a good zone for you to be in, but just get ready for the moisture. It's gonna be different than a dry place. It's gonna be a lot of
humidity. You do a lot of powdery mildew.
Yeah. So you're gonna have to deal with some things that you're not used to dealing with. But a longer growing season, so you got a longer time to lose stuff and plant stuff back.
But there's a secret to powdery mildew.
Go ahead, talk to us.
Milk and water.
Wow.
Milk and water.
The
enzymes from milk would actually get rid of powdery mildew. So milk and water.
Cool. I might try some because I think I had a little bit about of that last year in the high tunnel because the high tunnel kind of holds that moisture over the night. It starts to get on my cucumbers and like the snow peas and stuff. So that's cool.
Yeah, milk and water.
Do either for the try to put y'all questions in all caps. That way I can see them because I don't want to like cross over anybody's comments. And don't forget, I got the I gotta keep doing it. Don't forget that the link to Beautee in the Gardens channel is right there. Click on that link, go subscribe to our channel, and then come right back and catch up with us. All right. Creative. Yeah, she's not going anywhere. We still got her for like another 15-20 minutes. Deneen Jackson asks, do either of you teach how to condition soil, what grows in what zones? We're in Southern California, and how to form honeybees. I don't teach honeybees.
I don't form honeybees. But as far as conditioning soil is, I just pretty much with my soil every year, and I was telling him last night was I just cover my beds with 1 inch or 2 of new compost. I don't dig in my beds, so just adding that 1 layer of compost every quarterly season. So basically 4 times out of the year, I will add compost, 1 inch of compost to each bed. And that helps with not trying to buy too as well so much of the bag fertilizers.
Oh, sounds good. I don't know if I think I do like vermiculite, perlite. I just started though, so I don't think that is one of those things that
well, they
like
say on the back that vermiculite and perlite is amending, and it technically, to me personally, is not really amending. It's actually just something that keeps drainage going, keeps things from being compacted. But as far as amending, to me, is like adding nitrogen and potassium and those things back into the bed.
Like the nutrients. You're talking more about putting the nutrients back into the soil.
Putting nutrients back in. That's what I see. And I wanted to tell you, I meant to tell you last night. So you got the rubber mulch. And
Uh-huh.
I take my wet vac and I vacuum up my mulch and I would add that into my compost area. So like
The rubber pouch?
I just use it back into the garden beds. Yeah. hmm
Huh.
And that helps with drainage as well. Is that
Oh, kind of
adding
like having a
mulch?
little drainage. Oh, because it
Yeah.
doesn't
So
break down.
and then the worms love that too because they break it down. So they have that room for
It
more
too.
tunnelling. hmm
Uh, Another thing I wanted to, since on that last question, you kind of hit on it last night, was I don't do it like that, but you talked about, because you just mentioned it, you talked about feeding worms. So a lot of
Yeah.
people go out buying worm castings, like, oh, I need worm castings. And that stuff is super ridiculously
Yeah. It's like
expensive
$11 for what? Maybe a
for a
pound.
little, yeah,
Something like
ridiculous. When
that.
all you got to do is get worms into the bed and you'll have worm castings. So talk to us a little bit about what you do and how do you go through your process of feeding your worms in your beds.
I do buy worm castings only for my if you watch the video of me doing my seed starting mix, because worm castings is like not this high nutrient of nitrogen. So I do add like maybe a cup or 16 ounces into my bin when I'm starting. But that's it. I don't add it in my beds because I have worms. What I do is like if I see a bad leaf, sometimes I'll fold it up, you guys, then like little school little hole and pop it in there in the soil,
It's
and
like bury it into the soil.
my worms would come and eat that, and they just never go anywhere because I give them something that they want.
Wow.
So and they want to break down materials that are waste. So I just feed them in place. If I get a
I'm
bad
going to try
in
that.
my pots, and people wonder why I have them in my pots, because I have my compost area, and I rotate the soil out. So when I dump out the soil out my pots, I would dump them on the compost area, and the compost area will have worms, and then they'll go and they'll fiddle faddle around in there. And then when I pot it up again, they're already in the soil. So, and then I just take a piece of leaf that is deteriorated, and I would dig a little hole and pop a little leaf in there here or there, and they'll live happy in that pot. So that's what I do. I don't do the worm bins because I think it feel like this. If you feed them in place, they'll stay.
Wow. I never, I'm telling you, I have worms in my ground. I mean, I just have worms, but I never thought of that actively like taking those leaves off, because we have chickens. So a lot of my thanks for the super chat, Gardner Trinity. My chickens is basically my compost machines, because
Oh,
anything
that's lovely.
to keep me from buying more food, I would just take it to the chickens. But this year, just because you said that, it looks so easy the way you said, just take an old leaf off and kind of fold it up and bury it to feed those worms that's doing super work for your garden. I think
Yeah.
everybody ought to try that.
And then too, like if you like even your garden, your home scraps after you have a meal or something like that. I don't do meat because of rodents. But um, stuff like if you have like things like in your fridge that went bad, just dig a trench, or like scoot a little trench, maybe about 2 inches, where you're not really digging, you just top surfacing, and grind it up in a blender. And I'll say grind up in the blender, if you have time, and just like drizzle it in there and cover it over, and the worms just love it.
Okay.
Worms soup.
Yeah, that's the castings, right? Miss Dawn asks, I'm in zone 7A and getting my first ever greenhouse. What plants should I put in? Should I put it in long term, or should I put in it long term?
Greenhouses, to me personally, nothing should be in it long term, because they have a tendency to adapt to that environment. So if you ever decide to change out that environment, it's most likely going to be totally stressed out, like totally stressed out. Um, maybe you're doing like orchids or something like that, or something that really need that high humidity, um,
Oh,
something like that. But I don't leave anything in my greenhouse. Everything got to go out. Everything has to go out.
all right. Let me see. Lucy Junad says, "Is an 8-inch deep kiddie pool enough to grow strawberries in?"
Yes,
Yes.
yes, yes, yes.
Cool. I
Perfect,
saw somebody.
actually.
Go ahead.
I think it's perfect because you don't have to worry about them running everywhere. They
Yeah.
can be very controlling. They
And
want space to run.
I saw somebody like remember that it's a pool. So you do want to put some hose like maybe
Drainage
about a
hole.
few inches up where the water will come out once it rains. Make sure you have enough hose on the side of them to drain out.
I don't do the side holes. I don't do the side holes. Okay, now I'm gonna tell you why I don't do the side holes.
Teach us,
Um,
teach us, teach us, tell us.
okay, so if you're not one of those people that actually gonna maintain things that, because see that's a reservoir.
Yeah.
Okay, so would you having 8 inches too with the pool? That's not much. You need that root system. I will put it at the bottom because you don't want it to sit in water. No water whatsoever. Um, that's just to create a reservoir without actually buying a reservoir. So I
Okay.
would actually hold at the bottom.
So for strawberries, you would say hose at the bottom, not hose on the side.
Yeah, I mean that's just holes on the side is just to create a reservoir. It's not anything else. That's just to make sure that you have this amount of water held at the bottom of that pot. That's that's what the side holes are for.
Okay. Miss Frida Knight says, "What pointers do you have for a new gardener?" Everybody's in zone, saying zone like 6 and stuff. This is zone 7B. This is going to be a good one because she says, beautiful lady that says she tried last spring but was unsuccessful. Let's hear you motivate Miss Frida Knight.
On what? Pointers on what?
She wants to know any pointers you have for a new gardener. So just motivating a new gardener for like a failed gardening
Try.
season. Like get me
Don't
back
ever
in.
be don't ever be intimidated by anything. Try. If you don't try, you won't know. I've killed plants numerous of times. You have to try so you can understand what that plant needs, wants. And if you don't try, you're not going to know. Like it could be like the most simplest things of like how deep the root system is, or how wide the plant needs to be, how aerated the plant needs to be. Like if you wouldn't know that until you do fail. So I say try.
Yeah.
Just try. Don't don't worry about if it comes out like how you see it on a commercial, or you got a brown spot or the leaves fell off, or just you got to try. That's all. You got it. That's all to it. Plants die at the end anyway.
Fail
Most of
forward. Fail forward.
most of them.
Yeah. So Miss Frida, just give it another go. And
Here we
we
go.
promise everything you saw last year, when you see
You
it this
learned
year,
from.
you already be ahead of the game. So
You
when you
learned it.
see a plant doing something different, like I remember when I was really starting to grow citrus trees, just learning what it means to see the leaf like turning colors, knowing that magnesium or whether it needs manganese or just those little things. As you grow each season, you get more and more knowledge each season, and that's what actually
That's what make
expands
you.
your
That's what make
garden.
you a great gardener. That right
Yeah,
there is going to make you a great gardener. And see, and when people ask me a lot of questions about gardening, I was gardening since I was a little girl, so I've seen like you know, the variations of certain plants, or even like from a difference between pot or actually like your tilled ground garden. So I've gotten the opportunity, you guys, to actually see the difference between the two, between raised beds or in-ground gardening. With in-ground gardening, you got to do a lot more amending because such more direct sun depletes the soil. There's just so many variations to gardening, and I think just doing it and loving it and enjoying yourself doing it, even if you fail in it, you learn something from that failure of like, okay, last time the leaves turned this color, this time the leaves are this color, or oh, this time the soil look a little bit lighter, or you know, vice versa. Like, rather not you have perlite or vermiculite. It's like I was telling someone, you can have a ton of perlite in your soil. It doesn't make your soil better. It aerates the soil. It does that, but it does nothing for the soil. Okay, so like you just gotta know, after a while you get to know what to do, when to do it, and when not to do it. So it says, wow.
Someone says any type of white milk, canned milk, or powdered milk. When you're talking about the powdered
I would
milk,
use whole milk.
Whole milk.
Whole milk.
Say whole milk.
Because you know, whole milk is literally what it is. It's thick. It will cover the leaf. It's not too watery. It will actually be. It will stay on the leaf, and the enzymes from that milk is going to help with that powdered mildew and kill it off. So I use whole milk.
all right. So I'm not understanding this, but maybe you can. I'm just going to put it up there. It says, where can I buy the best high-rise hot houses for our first homestead?
Maybe they talking about.
Is you talking about the ones with the ventilation on top of the greenhouse? Because that's what I'm thinking. You're talking about high rise is when you have the ventilation on the greenhouse on top of the ceiling.
Oh, okay. That's my first time hearing about.
You know, the ones that actually open up on the top of the ceiling. So I have not experienced the buying those. I actually built mine with oh gosh, what was it? I forgot what the number of plastic I used. But I built mine. I DIY'd it.
Okay. Oh, so your greenhouse is a you built it yourself? You didn't buy it from anywhere?
No, I DIY'd it. I had a frame from an actual like plastic one, and then I was just like, the frame was already into the ground, and I literally had to build a frame inside the frame. The frame is just to hold my trellis, but I had to literally build a whole new frame inside of that frame. But I went ahead and DIY'd it. I did a video on that where I put the clips in because I didn't measure. I just went with, okay, this will fit, and I cut it and put it together.
Oh, okay. New York Gardener asks, do you put grow lights in the greenhouse?
I actually have grow lights in the greenhouse. I don't use it. I used it like if I have like a dim day. Personally, this is my first year with a grow light. My brother had gifted me it for Christmas, and I went ahead and got it. And I've never used grow lights before, but I have that middle shelf that has a grow light on it. Just in case it gets a little dim, I would turn it on ever so often. I probably turned it on maybe 4 or 5 times since I started my seedlings, but it's not necessary whatsoever. If your greenhouse is not in a shaded area, you know, you're still getting sunlight. There's no need for you to have it. Yeah.
That's my first time hearing anything about somebody even asking that question like that. I thought that was a interesting question about.
Yeah, because I think a lot of times people can buy a greenhouse, and it's not about having the greenhouse. It's understanding where you place your greenhouse. If your greenhouse is not in a sunny area where you can get that bright light, And say you have your greenhouse under trees because it fits underneath there better than having it out in the middle of your yard. Then you might need to have grow lights because it's not getting any sun in that greenhouse. You probably got to have heat mats because it's in a shaded area. But for me, mine is not. But winter time, you get those dim days. So ever so often, I might turn it on. I hope that helped, but you don't really need it if your greenhouse is in a sunny area.
Oh, okay. In the garden,
you guys.
When do you start strawberries?
Soon as the season begins in your area. I would tell anybody this: if your store is carrying plants, then most likely it is time for you to get them.
Yeah.
They won't put it in store because they won't be able to sell if it's out of season. So they only bring it when it is time. So if your store is selling it, then it is time.
Yeah, I think I was about to say, I think that is real good advice for someone that's a new gardener. You don't have to go and buy, but I think it's a good practice to take your time, stop by these local nurseries. Like Miss T said, I remember when I first started gardening, that was the only way I knew what was time to put in the ground. Like I go to the nursery and I'm like, okay, I see this. That means it's time to plant that stuff, So it's like going in the fall. Our nursery doesn't put out many, like they might put out some cucumbers or something like that, but it'll be like our tomatoes. They have a few fall variety tomatoes that our local nurseries will put out, but they won't like put out like the big beefs and better boys and all that stuff because it's not time to plant that. You can try it if you want, but for the most part, it's gonna get too cold too fast for those to kind of make it. So
and understand like your a lot of times too, like I don't know if any of you guys gardened last year, but if you did garden last year, a lot of us had got a cold snap late in the season, like in May. It came out of nowhere where everybody should have been kind of like on that almost that even road, but we ended up getting a cold snap. Be prepared for it. I would tell you guys honestly, get your milk jugs, get your child juice bottles, whatever they got left over, go ahead and keep those. Because if you have to cover them,
like 5-gallon buckets and stuff,
you're gonna need them. You're gonna need them just in case that happens. Because a lot of times, even though they might be in store, but you gotta like make sure that you're not gonna get that cold snap, and you don't know if you're going to get it. So just have those things on hand. But if your local Lowe's and they have the plants, then it's time. It's time for you to plant them. I hope that.
I was telling Bells, we started planting in the greenhouse, in the high tunnel, probably like a month ago when we put in the peppers and stuff. Even before the snow, before the little cold Uri came.
Oh yeah,
and I told her that we're gonna start planting outside. And the reason that I can plant a little bit early outside is because we have those structures over our raised beds where now since I've unwrapped our trees, I have that extra plastic where I can put that plastic and those tarps over our raised bed hoops. And that way, I did it last year, and it kind of helps you get a little jump on the season because you're not going to get, at least here, we're not really looking to get like 20 degrees anymore. So we might get some frost, a few more frosts here before Easter. But for the most part, if you can, like she said, keep it covered, you can actually start planting a couple of things now. If you got some 5-gallon buckets, my neighbor, if you would have saw his field for the fall,
or even pots you don't use, pots that you're not using.
Yeah, just cover it with a little something, and that will help you. Even if you don't know, should I not? If you think you shouldn't and should, go ahead and try to cover it with something, just to give them a chance.
Because I think last year when we had I was not prepared, but I knew it was coming because I was checking, because like that first month of your seedlings going in the ground, you got to check that weather like clockwork just in case. And I used my the plastic shoe boxes, the clear shoe boxes, and put it over top of my seedlings, and the tips of them might got a little burnt, but the plant was able to survive through it. So
someone says blueberries and blackberries on clearance at Walmart, $5.88. That's those little ones I was talking about.
You're right.
I'm telling you, look, each his own, and like I get a lot of clearance stuff, but when I get the clearance stuff, I wanna get the best stuff on clearance as well. And I think Guillory from Giller's Louisiana Homestead, he called me yesterday, and I was covered in mud from messing with this. I didn't do anything today. I still gotta go back out there and do some more plumbing stuff tomorrow. But he was telling me that they had like a lot of roses and like trees, some of their peach trees and stuff was on sale. So maybe they do, but I just didn't have time to go out there and get any. But if you can get them and grow them, especially blackberries, like if you can get a good blackberry for $5.88, that's a heck of a deal. Blackberries usually to have no problem in any kind of soil that I know of.
You know what? I went to Walmart 2 days ago, and they didn't have any $5 plants. They were like $20, so they were high.
Yeah, so $5.88, yeah, that's a good buy. Dawn says, "Can I grow huh?
Look, buy them all."
Someone says, "Can I grow my Meyer lemon in a pot long term?"
I don't have a Meyer's lemon, but I think if you got a 25-gallon pot, I use the totes, so I think you should be good to go in a tote. Because of what the tote is, 20, maybe 18 gallons.
Refrigerator. Yeah. I like citrus. Mostly all citruses can be grown in pots.
I want a Meyer's lemon. I do want a Meyer's
pots long term.
They're not in stores here though. Not yet.
Because they're probably not in stores because of that cold weather. You're in zone 8. You said 8 or 8B? You said
8.
Yeah. So
they're not here yet.
Yeah. It's hard to grow a lemon here, and we're in zone 9. And it's like they're cool all spring, all summer, all fall, mostly all winter. But then we get those weeks where we start to drop in the 20s and all of that. And you see people with Christmas lights wrapped up. I mean,
around the tree.
It's like a holiday around here when you see like when these temperatures start dropping here in Louisiana, people trying to save those lemon trees. And sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. So
I didn't think Louisiana got so cold until one time we went to New Orleans, and I was like, "Oh my God, it's cold."
Yeah,
it's cold.
It's crazy, and it's more cold to us. I guess our trees are like us. Like we're so used to the heat, to where when it's cold, like people from like New York or Chicago might be like, "Man, it ain't nothing," but to us, it is like super, super cold. It's ridiculous cold.
I'm from Connecticut. I'm don't like the cold. Y'all can have it. Y'all can have the cold. I'm not a fan. My bones hurt.
So I'll wait on some more questions, and I got another question for you. I think we talked about it a little bit last night, and it was, how do you water your garden? A lot of people ask me, but we want to know, how do you water your garden day to day?
I don't water my garden often. Rainwater.
No irrigation or anything?
Nope. I hand carry my water jug all over, and I just water what needs to be watered. I don't go watering everything.
So if you see something a little droopy, you mean you might
or not even droopy, like I would like literally I would touch around the footing of the plant, and I would like, okay, you need some water, but like right next to it probably won't need it. So I don't water everything. I don't fertilize everything at the same time either.
Yeah, they just want to see the back of it, the address.
Yeah, so I don't do those things. I don't if I'm watering or fertilizing, if that plant needs it, and it could be right next to each other, and I wouldn't water the one next to it or fertilize the one next to it because it might not need it, but the one next to it might need it.
I've been told. Alicia says, "Hello everyone. I just got my indoor grow tent. Could I use shop lights from Walmart? I've been told. Let's see what they're doing. I've been told. What you think? I don't know much about grow tents.
I don't know anything about grow tents, but I would say if you're using a shop light, you just got to make sure that you have enough lumens, at least 5,000 lumens.
Oh, okay. So I'm sure there's somebody else on YouTube that knows more about those things, but we don't. Someone says, "Do you have the address to the company that sells the package of moringa seed?" Yeah, so I got bells to get it. It's El Gordo.
Let me see it. Can I up top, like higher?
El Gordo, and on the back, these come from the Mexican stores, La Morenita. So let me get it in focus. Here's let me get it out of the light. There you go. So here's the address: 10203 Corkwood Place, Suite 115, Dallas. But the number is 469-364-5555.
Oh,
right,
great. I'm going to get some because I want some and my mom wants some. And we try to order offline. We could not get any. They're out of stock.
I'm your person. You came to our live. You don't have to look for them anymore. So we'll see you. So don't worry about it.
Thank you.
Show us. We kind of went over the hour, but I don't want to let you go without showing us that crazy seed storage thing that you showed me last night. Your seed storage file. So you gotta take a second. I told you have it with you. I was like, keep it with you.
Give me a second.
So, what? Don't forget, y'all, go over and subscribe to her channel. And she actually did a video on this, and she's gonna share this with us. But check out this seed dictionary that she has. Crazy. Look at that art on front of there. Wow.
Look at you guys.
So tell us your thinking and how you put your seeds and how do you categorize your things in your seed dictionary, and what is it made
of? This is a binder. This was actually a standard binder that I transformed into a 12 by 12 binder. And what I did was I ordered the 4x6 photo sleeves. You can get the standard one who has like 4 inserts, but I got the one that has 6. So it looks like this.
Let me see it.
It looks like where yet? This way. Like this. And
like I have, is it like 9 things?
It's 6.
Okay.
And I didn't double it up because I want to read
the front and the back. Okay.
And I have them all labeled: lettuce, eggplant, tomatoes, peppers, squash. I have flowers. I have cucumbers and melons, beans, and then I have herbs, and then I have root crops. So I have all of them.
So if I said T, let me get some watermelon seeds. Show me that page right now. Just show me your watermelon seed page.
I go to melons. In it. There go my melons.
Wow.
Oh, I don't know where my camera at. You gotta
lean. You gotta like lean back.
There you go. My melons. So that's how I pretty much get it into place. So I don't have to like ramble through my seeds and like, even time like people say they got the little ones, but they got to,
Yeah.
Like
I'll show you mine next. Show me that where's the seeds that you say you saved? I think you had them up in like a little plastic box.
Oh yeah, these are all my seeds I saved throughout the year. This is all from last year. Okay. So I have here long cucumber, fire beans, watermelon, green zebra tomatoes, patty pans, more long beans, onions from seed for seed, cantaloupe, oh my
Miss
okra,
Beauty. Miss
huh?
Beauty. You can tell the cucumbers with the binder, huh?
What is
This is my seed.
hold up?
This is my seed catalog.
So Babs, so you tell him this is what you tell him, okay? Hey baby, how about you go ahead and look for your seed?
It's like years and years
He got, oh no, he got this kind like where tomatoes go. He got beans. I don't know.
I know where this stuff is. Like I know what it
You gotta laugh. You have to. Oh, girl, I would be like, baby, you going in there, you gonna go find your own
Oh,
beans.
he gonna be mad. Like I mean,
I know where it is. Hey, look, if she moves that, I will know what's going on. Like I'll be like, where's my bag?
If you put that right here, then Babs can be like, hey baby, sure, I know where to get that. You say you want what tomato? Okay, sure. All the tomatoes.
But that's just I think I love the way your stuff is.
Neat.
And I think that's one of the beautiful things about gardening, and we kind of talked about it last night as we head into the end. We kind of talked about everyone having their own style and not like it's fun to me to see yours and then see mine. Like this is the way I do it, this is the way you do it. And I think a lot of people that watch YouTubers and YouTube gardeners need to understand that you gotta have some of you in your garden. Like you can have a little bit of beauty, you can have a little bit of grow family, but when I go to your house, I need to see you. Like I need something special about you. So talk to us about just motivating somebody.
I think that's how I came up with the end of all my videos. Remember, there's beauty in everyone's garden, because I think a lot of times when you see all these pretty gardens, the only thing you see is pretty garden, and you don't have to hold yourself to that standard. Enjoying your garden. I just feel like everyone in garden is beautiful because you growing something you love, you enjoy. It's yours. It's nobody else's. There's no right, there's no wrong way of gardening. So I just really believe in that there's beauty in everyone's garden. I remember growing up as a little girl, I used to see like my grandmother's brother who he used to grow in tires, you know, and you know how they used to cut them with the slits and it looked like a flower.
Oh yeah, the tires. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah. So it's just like container garden where people put them in buckets, or I mean, it's just everyone garden is different. It's amazing. They put their own spin on it. They put their own touch on it. You just gotta love what you do. It's yours. It's nobody else's. It's yours. So yes, I do believe that.
Tell us why she buys Baker Creek seeds. I don't know if that's meant to be sarcastic, but tell us what y'all. Baker Creek and Raz Seeds is the same company, right? Are they different companies? I don't know. I don't really buy seeds that much anymore.
Okay, so I don't decide on whose seeds I do buy. I have companies, all kinds of companies, to be honest with you. I don't pick and choose. But when it comes down to certain type of varieties that I might look for, then I would order from Baker's Creek. But there's no specific seed seller that I go to. And when you go to the stores, you guys, I'm gonna be honest with you, just check the package. You actually probably see the same address on the package. So I'm gonna see if I can give y'all an example before I go. Let me see.
Yeah, while you're doing that, I'll talk a little bit. And I know that's one of the things that I don't really look at seed companies like I used to when I first started gardening. Now I just like if I buy some seeds from Lowe's or my local hardware store or the co-op, and they do well, like they sprout well and they give me good germination, I go and buy those seeds back there again. If they don't, I don't care where they came from because I bought some from Rare Seeds. Like I bought a ground cherry, a pack of ground
Okay,
cherries. I
are
think
y'all
it's like,
ready?
hold on. Let me say this.
Oh, I
And
didn't.
I think,
Sorry.
they didn't really do well at all. And I'm not ever gonna buy. I don't know if it's a bad stock that I got, but I'm not going there for ground cherries. Aunt Molly's, I think ground cherries. I never got one to sprout. So when you're looking at seed companies, just go off who gives you that good germination. You ready, Miss T? Sorry about that.
Yeah. So a lot of times we look at packages and we don't think about like the price and the cost. So I'm gonna give you just examples on price and cost in the same company. So this one's the one we get from the Dollar Tree. Let me make sure I get you guys in there. Okay, we're gonna zoom in on the address. You see that? It says this way. WW plantationproduct.com.
Yeah.
Okay, you see this? Yeah, we buy this all the time. Then we got this one. And it's the same company. It's just a different package. It's so cheaper. It's just packaged different. And there you go again.
Plantation
And
products.
then let's go to when we buy seeds from Lowe's and Home Depot. Pay a little more. Who is the company?
Wow.
Well, just be mindful
Oh,
of
wow.
what you get, where you get it, because we thinking one thing because it says a name brand on it, but it could be coming from the same place.
Wow. I never even looked at the back of those things. I don't buy the Dollar Tree ones, really. I mean, I just don't. But
So when you go to Lowe's and you buy this pretty package, and this came from the Dollar Tree, it's the same people, same seed.
I don't know what kind of. I think I bought Cherry Rose, but it's the same company. Same company. But yeah, thanks for that. So that's something that's real cool. So we want to say, let me put it one more time. Just a little, well, not a little bit. We're a lot of bit over, but
it's okay. They still there? Are y'all guys okay?
Yeah. So 193 people held on watching the live chat with Miss T from Beauty in the Garden. So that's a beautiful thing to have you. We're glad to have you. Me and my little baby was glad to talk with you last night. So we actually talked for a good while last night leading up to this live chat. And we're thankful for everybody that actually came over to check out Beauty in the Garden. This was our first time having a guest on our channel, so it's super special to us. And one day she's gonna be so big, she's gonna be bigger than us. We're gonna be the little bit of people saying, Beauty, please, can we get on your live stream? Can we get on your So
so it's very nice to be invited onto a platform that's actually have been around for a good long time and just kept at it and motivating other people to garden and get out there and enjoy, especially enjoy your family. That is the biggest thing I see about you guys' channel. I just love seeing the kids just I just love it. I just love it.
So that's cool.
And they know what plant it is. I'm like, yeah.
So and that's cool to see the little one too, your little one out there too. I can't remember what video it was, but she was really, really, really in it. And I was like, I think it was my first time seeing her on one of those videos. And you tell me she's always outside with you.
With the pool in the getting some greens.
Remember
getting some greens.
Yeah. We watched that. I was like, oh, look at her little baby. Look at her little baby.
I was showing that to my daughter today, and she said, like, Mom, can you go pick some carrots?
That's my baby's favorite thing. I can't keep carrots. Like if my carrots even start to grow this big, she'll pull them up and I'll be like, no, I gotta wash that. But she'll tear them up. So this year I gotta do like 2 beds of carrots. My mom had sent me some Parisian carrots. So I'm excited to grow that for her this year.
She said bye.
Yeah, she said bye.
Oh, bye, little lady. Come say bye to us. So like I said,
bye.
Bye, beautiful.
She's so Cute.
So don't forget y'all to go over to Beauty in the Garden, check out her channel, check out all her garden tours. She's way ahead of us this year on garden tour videos and stuff. So it's a beautiful thing. You got a lot of stuff to watch, a lot of stuff to catch up on, and stick around on her channel because, like I said, the more you encourage people through comments, the more you watch their channel, the more they can look in the analytics and see people are watching for a longer amount of time. That's what's going to give you better content. That's what's going to get her out there with the little one, with her family, by herself, cooking videos. All of that good stuff comes from you guys pressing the thumbs up button on her videos, letting her know how much you care about the time she's putting in, late at night, all that good stuff, 12 and 1 in the morning.
I was up late at night. 1 o'clock. I'm like
I know it. I know how it is. I can't tell you the countless nights I've like been up at this computer and like this uploading and downloading takes so long. And I wake up in the morning, I'm like, it still ain't finished, or it went to sleep on me. I'm like, this thing went to sleep on me. Oh my gosh. So people that do YouTube we have a healthy respect for other YouTubers because we know the pains of uploading and downloading and rendering.
or having to start all over your download.
Losing everything. So thankful to everybody that came out. Thankful to you, little baby, and
hamster.
And to everyone else, we want to say thank y'all for joining the Both Family Network live stream garden chat. And as she plays the music to get us out of here, I would say you go ahead on Miss T and you end it with your ending line for your video, and I'll close the end broadcast when you finish.
Remember, there's beauty in everyone's garden.
And as always, grow, grow, grow.